So, I 3D print jelly that shrinks when it gets hot. And people ask me why, and I say, obviously, pine cones. Because pine cones can close when the weather is wet to keep their seeds from rotting. They can open when the weather is dry so they can disperse their seeds. They do this with no power. They do this off-grid. They don't need an internet connection. They have dragged pine cones from 15-million-year-old coal seams, and they still work. This kind of resilience is something that I would really like in our technology, and I hope you agree. So, we need something that responds to what's going on around it. And we need a way to shape that into something interesting. So for my material, I've started with jelly. Now, hydrogels are long polymers that are joined together to make a kind of network, and in the middle of that network, we put water. And then people ask me, why do I work with jelly? Why don't I work with a proper macho material? And the answer is because jelly is wobbly like we are wobbly. If we want something that works with human bodies and with animal bodies, we need something soft. If we want to make organs, if we want to make prosthetics that are compatible with people, we need to make soft materials with the same skills that we make hard materials. And using that, I've taken one gel that's strong, it's made from seaweed, one gel that's thermoresponsive, it's synthetic, and I've combined them. And together, they make a thermoresponsive strong gel. So as the temperature increases, the polymers would rather coil in on themselves than be in touch with that nasty water. And so they contract, squirting out all the water. And that makes the material 40% of its original size. Now, that's about 40%, because otherwise I'd make the world's most boring shape-changing material, where I print it and it just contracts entirely in proportion. So I'm working on making ways to make it contract more or less or at a faster rate. And so far, I'm just going to show you what I've got going on at the moment. This is a basic flower shape, which I've created with a 3D printer that I built myself, and it's not a pine cone yet, sorry. You'll note that as it goes into hot water, which it's doing now, it starts to curl up, and that's because the networks on the top are have much more links in them than the networks on the bottom, and that means they contract more as it heats. And it's really cool that you can do this with a 3D printer, because that means you can make any shape, right? You don't have to make a mold or set it up in advance. You can just make anything you've got the ideas for. So I'm working on understanding the maths of these and how we could make more complicated structures and more interesting things in future. It's supposed to be finished by September. Watch this space, because I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Thank you, Kate.